Hi, my name is Drew Haverly, and for this video essay project, I interviewed my wife's cousin Kelly to get her story and first-hand perspective of living with multiple sclerosis. She was very insightful and willing to talk, so I just want to thank her before getting started. Kelly was diagnosed with MS at an unusually young age of 13 years old and has been living with it for the past 26 years. To give a brief background about the disease, multiple sclerosis is known as an autoimmune disease in which one's own immune system attacks the central nervous system, and more specifically, the myelin sheath covering the nerves throughout the body. In short, this all leads to interrupted messages being sent throughout the body, causing difficulty with ambulation, speaking, coordination, etc. There are four types of MS, including relapse remitting, secondary progressive, primary progressive, and progressive relapsing. Relapse remitting is the most common form of MS and is what Kelly suffered from for many years in the beginning. This type is characterized by relapses that generate new symptoms, followed by periods of, in Kelly's case, partial recovery, sometimes complete recovery. Those with relapse remitting MS can often progress to secondary progressive MS, which is more of a gradual worsening of symptoms over time, and in Kelly's case, does not involve relapses or remissions. Sometimes it can. Interestingly, she compared MS to AIDS, which is a disease that is very similar and very different at the same time. While both diseases are attributed to malfunctions of the immune system, AIDS is characterized by a shutdown of the immune system, whereas MS is a disease in which the immune system is basically on overdrive. She mentioned staying up to date with breakthroughs in medication with AIDS, as it may very well impact the treatment of MS, which I thought was interesting. Like any condition, especially when diagnosed at such a young age, it was hard to come to terms with it and admit that she suffered from it. In fact, for 3 years, she and her parents did not tell the rest of her family about it until a significant episode struck when she was 16 years old. This attack debilitated her to the point where the only thing she could do was breathe. She was then hospitalized in a pediatric neurologic facility for 2 to 3 months, and then transferred to another facility where she intensely worked with physical therapists to gradually strengthen and gain some mobility back. In what Kelly described as a very interesting ethical dilemma at the time, she was referred to a trial for an experimental drug, despite not being old enough for being admitted to this trial. She's sure at this point that this saved her life without question. She believes the doctor got in trouble for admitting her into this trial despite her age, but again, she thinks without question that it saved her life. Since that time, Kelly's been going to physical therapy, and in fact, she's been with the same physical therapist for the past 10 years. Kelly said in the interview that physical therapy has given her a second chance on life. She also understands that due to the progressive nature of the disease, PT is extremely important, not so much for improving her condition, but maintaining her current ability level for as long as possible. What she has done with her life, despite being diagnosed so early on, is just incredible. She graduated from college. She has a master's degree in education. She now teaches education classes at the College of Southern Maryland. So all truly remarkable things. Yet she admits it hasn't always been easy. Other than the 3 years when she was diagnosed to when she had the severe attack at age 16, she's always needed assistive equipment to get around, including a walker and a wheelchair. She mentioned that her balance is not good enough to get by with just a cane. Accessibility of buildings and events in society is an issue she faces every day. Descending stairs, in particular, is very difficult for her. Even this past weekend, we went to a family wedding, and she talked about how difficult it was navigating the stairs throughout the night. Something that we don't think about and take for granted are everyday challenges for people with disabilities, including those with MS. The perception within society is another barrier she's definitely faced. Kelly told me a personal story about her interest in becoming a minister before getting her master's in education. But because the committee had a previous minister who had MS and had to stop working after a few years due to her illness, they didn't allow Kelly to move forward in the process of achieving her dream. She was heartbroken by this naturally at the time, and again wanted to stress to me that each case of MS is so unique that the symptoms of someone you know may be completely different from someone else with MS. So to keep an open mind from one person to the next with this disease. However, there is light and a reason for hope. She's been very encouraged by the amount of research being done in the health field, the new equipment to help with ambulating and daily activities. She mentioned the exoskeleton and electrical stimulation, society's increased awareness of the disease, and also new medications that continually come out on the market. I asked Kelly for insight into how she's been able to achieve so much despite her early diagnosis, and she gave me 3 important tips. She said, keep smiling, don't read the internet, and stay active. She's truly an inspiration, and it's been a pleasure learning her story and sharing her story as well. So, thank you.